On this day, the 25th of August, 1955, the Crown versus John Wilkins, Mr. Justice Morland presiding. The court will rise.
Tell me.
Tell you what?
Everything you can remember.
I've told the police, I've told my solicitor. The trial's already started. I don't see the point.
We will ask from the adjournment. I may be able to help you. Tell me what you can, from the beginning.
There is no beginning for you people, is there? April. One Wednesday evening in April, shortly after the clocks had changed. It was still sunny when I came home from work, and I was feeling quite cheerful.
May?
On the couch. I just got off.
Why are the curtains closed?
A migraine. One of my migraines.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
A shame for me or a shame for your mother?
There's no need to say that. I'm sure Mother will be disappointed if you feel you're not up to it.
In 7 years of marriage, we've been round to your mother's for dinner almost every Wednesday night. Anyway, there's corned beef and potato salad in the kitchenette.
All right. Would you like some?
I couldn't eat a thing. What did Mr. Gimble say?
Gimble?
About the rise. You were going to ask him today.
I forgot. He was busy. There was no time.
I knew you wouldn't. My head.
Well, if you kept quiet and talked less, it wouldn't hurt so much, would it?
John, it's not just for me, you know. It's for your own self-respect. £500 a year for an assistant complaints manager. Patricia Lauman's husband earns $700, and he's no more than a glorified bank clerk.
I'll fetch you some aspirin.
I've already taken 2. The Tateworthys have asked us round to a television party on Saturday. It feels awkward if we can't invite them back, and he's definitely worth cultivating. Where are you going?
To let my mother know we're not coming for dinner.
You can phone her next door.
No, I'll stroll across the common. I need some air. I'm starting to get a headache myself.
Then call in at the library, would you? There'll be a 2p fine on the books tomorrow.
You have to understand that I didn't hate May. Not then, anyway, though I came to later. Certainly, we should never have married, but, well, you could say that of a number of couples, couldn't you?
And that evening, the evening of the migraine and the aborted visit to your mother's.
I felt sorry for snapping at May. She was only trying to improve our social position after all. She had her own reasons for that. But she was right. I was badly paid, and we were short of money. So I took the library books back to avoid a fine.
Now, there's a glum face for a fine evening.
I beg your pardon?
Someone in your household's a heavy reader?
Oh, we both are, quite.
Somerset Maugham. I'm sure that's you, isn't it? You look rather a Somerset Maugham type.
Do I? You're new here, aren't you?
Started last week. Now, Moira Malevorer, I don't believe is your taste.
Yes, you're right.
And another. Your wife must be keen on romantic fiction.
Oh, it's not my wife.
Oh, I'm sorry. I make these assumptions.
That's my sister. She's an invalid.
I see.
Confined to the house, not much to do all day. So.
Well, Moira Malevorer is a very popular author. In fact, I think the latest one came back today. Yes, Princess Make-Believe. Has your sister read that?
I'm not sure.
Well, she'll be delighted with you if she hasn't. Why don't you take it?
Yes, I will. She'll appreciate the thought. Thanks.
And now for the difficult part. I'm trying to remember as many readers' names as I can. So, those are your tickets, Mr. Wilkins.
Wilkins, yes.
And these are your...
Sisters, yes, my sisters. Yes, Miss Wilkins, Miss May Wilkins. Thank you, Miss...
Morton. Sheila Morton.
Thank you, Miss Morton. You've been very helpful indeed.
Why did I do that? Why did I say May was my sister instead of my wife? I don't know. All I can remember is that when I snatched the tickets to prevent her seeing the name Mrs. Wilkins, our hands touched for a second and a kind of thrill went up my arm.
You've never been very attractive to women.
No. I don't think it's bad breath or anything like that. My mother always said how good looking I was when I was a boy. I just get nervous with women, that's all.
And when you eventually did go to your mother's for dinner?
Yeah, it was the Friday. May had been to a meeting of the town's Women and Housewives Guild on the Thursday, so she couldn't pretend she still had a headache. And being the last day of the week, my spirits were up again at work, at least until mid-afternoon.
Wilkins.
Mr. Gimble.
I've been looking all over for you. I want a word.
Certainly, sir. Should I come to your office?
No time for that now. I'm worried about you, Wilkins. Very worried. Are you overworked?
Overworked? I don't think so, sir.
Not feeling the strain in any way?
No, sir.
I see. Then what do you call these?
These are...
No time to read them now. I'll tell you, Wilkins. They're letters of complaint. Unanswered letters of complaint.
I see, sir.
You do you?
No, that is... I mean, I haven't set eyes on them before.
Really? Despite their being date-stamped upon receipt? You an explanation, Mr. Wilkins?
Well, it's true we have been very busy lately.
Lower your voice, please, Wilkins.
I promise I wouldn't have let these slip by unless there were exceptional circumstances. I just can't think...
That much is apparent. And it's not quite the first time we've had these oversights, is it? Perhaps a transfer to another department.
I'm sure that won't be necessary, Mr. Kimball.
If it weren't for your general efficiency...
It won't happen again, sir. I shall see it doesn't. I promise.
Cheer up, lad. What's the matter with you?
Oh, leave him alone, Dan. He's finishing his steak and kidney pie. I don't forget my boy's favourites, do I? The second helping, son.
You shouldn't have any more, John. It's delicious pie, of course, but he's getting fat.
Nonsense. It's used too skinny by half, my girl. There you are, John. Can't take it back now.
You eat it up, lad. Be all the same in 100 years, and as for work... Don't you take any nonsense from them, that's my advice. I remember when I was trading up the Yangtze.
Oxford Street is hardly the Yangtze, is it? Still, for once, your Uncle Dan's got a point. Mr. Gimble doesn't value you half enough. Leaving aside the question of a pay rise, whatever happened to that reorganisation proposal you submitted?
Yes, you should push yourself, John. You've always been too modest. That's a fault with you.
But he was right. I don't remember being given those letters at all, and yet they were on my desk.
We all have our forgetful moments, lad, especially after a few drinks, eh?
John does not drink.
Beg pardon. Let's change the subject, shall we? Now, what about a game of cards?
Yeah, if John's finished polishing his plate. You enjoyed that, didn't you? Don't get it very often, eh?
Or the steak and kidney pie.
Well, we're going to play sevens.
No. We'll have a change. We'll have a real little flutter tonight. Pontoon.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
John Ladd? May?
I'd rather not play cards, thank you.
Maximum stake threatens. Still, you never know. Could be the first lady to break the bank at Monte Carlo.
I said I don't want to play cards. Didn't you hear me?
Oh, well, that's that then. Put the pack away, Dan.
But I've only
Put it
just...
away. We'll have a nice chat for the rest of the evening.
What do you want?
To get undressed, if you don't mind.
You could get undressed in the bedroom with me. You upset Mother, you realise that?
I upset her.
Now, you know she likes a game of cards after dinner. You're quite happy to play bridge at the town's Women's Guild.
Bridge is a proper card game.
Oh, don't be so bloody snobbish.
There's a difference between snobbery and standards. Your vulgar old uncle with his dirty jokes.
Doesn't get it very often.
Well, do I? Do I get it very often?
Don't start with that sort of talk. It's nothing better than common.
Common? It's natural, that's what it is. Besides, common sounds well coming from you.
What do you mean? Just because my father was a workman?
A street bookie when he wasn't drunk or in prison.
That's a terrible thing to say. I've made a good home for you and you're ashamed of me.
I'm not ashamed of you. I'm ashamed of your pretensions.
Your family's always been against me. They've no right. They've come down in the world.
May, it's not important.
Just because they used to have a house in Kincaid Square. I was a fool. My father may be no better than he should be, but what about yours? Squandered everything he had.
That's enough.
And your mother. I took her little baby boy away, didn't I? The boy she used to cook steak and kidney puddings for.
Stop it.
You know what her problem is? She's jealous of me, doesn't want any other woman going near you.
Shut up!
How could you do that?
The truth is, I don't know. I don't think I'm a violent person, Dr. Andriadis. It's just that sometimes I don't seem to know what I'm doing.
And these blackouts?
No, I don't know if that's what you call them.
You received those letters, and yet you had no recollection of them. That's a limited form of amnesia. You never sought treatment for it.
No.
Mr. Wilkins, I think you want to be helpful, but we have very little time. We cannot delay the trial any longer. Unless we can delve deeper into the truth, the matter will be taken out of our hands.
I loved her, you see.
I'm sorry.
Sheila Morton. I loved her from the first time I saw her in the library. I couldn't forget about her. I had to get to know her. There was nothing else I could do.
Hello again.
Hello. You're certainly going through English literature at a rate of knots, Mr. Wilkins. And none of these are your sisters, I can tell. L.P. Hartley. Now, I like L.P. Hartley.
Yes, I thought you would.
Oh, it's sad at the end, though, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Yes. Actually, Miss Morton, I was wondering... I've never seen you outside the library. Do you live in Clapham?
Yes, north side, facing the common. Not my house, unfortunately.
Oh?
My father's. There's your ticket.
Oh, thanks. It's even stranger. I haven't bumped into you. I often stroll over the common for a walk now the days are longer. Or perhaps you don't go out in the evenings.
I do if anybody asks me.
Really? As it happens, I've been given 2 complimentary tickets for the theatre. I don't really know anyone else who likes the stage and...
And you imagined I would?
Yes. Don't you?
I do, as a matter of fact. Which theatre is it?
With that French play on at the Duke of York's next Thursday. Can you make it?
Oh, I think so. Yes. That's very kind of you.
No, not at all. We could eat somewhere first, if you like. But you must have tickets. Thursday, next Thursday. Yes, of course I want them together. 2 together. No, I don't care what price it is. Yes, second row of the stall. Yes, that'll be fine. Yeah, I'll pick them up this evening. Yes, thank you.
Oh, Mr. Wilkins, I want a word with you.
Oh, yes, Mr. Gimble. I trust there have been no further problems.
Now, this scheme of yours for reorganising the complaints department, you gave it to me a few weeks ago.
Yes, I remember.
That makes a change. Tell me, what made you think of the idea?
Well, it seems to me that we're, to some extent, duplicating the work of the service department, and that with a certain amount of streamlining...
Streamlining, yes. Now, that's the odd coincidence, you see.
Is it? Why?
Because that's the very word I used. Of course, there are many differences of detail between my own plan and yours. Very many indeed.
Oh, you've had this idea as well?
I've been mulling it over for some time, actually. Sent my submission to the board last month. But there's an outline, there's a vague similarity to yours. I thought I should mention the fact, in case you thought there'd been any sort of borrowing.
Borrowing?
Of ideas, which, of course, there couldn't have been. As I say, my own scheme was submitted before I saw yours. Nonetheless, there's some good work here, Wilkins, some very good work. You keep that memory of yours under control, you'll go far in this company. Mark my words.
May, I asked you a question.
And I'm trying to listen to the wireless.
Are you going to the Townswomen's Guild next Thursday?
Yes, of course I am. I always do. Why?
Well, it's just that I shall be going out that evening as well.
Where?
Where what?
Where will you be going?
Well, it's a funny thing. You remember that reorganisation plan I submitted? Gimble wants to talk to me about it.
Wants to talk? After work?
Yes, well, I thought it peculiar, but...
Well, then it must be important. If he wants to talk to you after work, he might even take you out to dinner.
Yes. Oh yes, now I come to think of it, he mentioned that.
Oh, John, perhaps you'll have to dress up.
No, I don't think he'll be formal. He's not that type, Gimbal.
Why aren't you more excited? If your scheme goes through, it could mean promotion, couldn't it?
Well, no, I don't think we should raise our hopes. I mean, it could mean anything at all. At the moment, it's just a dinner and perhaps a few drinks afterwards.
But you won't drink anything, will you? Promise me you won't, John. You know it does you no good.
I promise.
And don't tell your mother about this. Not till it's over, anyway. You always tell her everything. Next Thursday. I can hardly wait.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that there has been committed a most brutal murder, no one is in any doubt. The evidence which I, on behalf of the Crown, will present to you, all channels towards a single, dreadful, inescapable fact. One man had both the motive and the opportunity for the crime. One man is implicated by all the positive proof which the Sussex Constabulary have unearthed. That man is the prisoner in the dock before you, John Wilkins.
Well, we've always lived in Clapham. Used to have a house in Kincaid Square.
Now, that is grand.
Well, that was when my father was alive. He had his own business, but in the end, well, he let it run down, rather. I think he was something of a dreamer. Would you like a pudding?
Do we have time?
Should do. The play starts at 7:30, I think. Should be on the tickets. Yes, 7:30.
The service is a bit slow here, though, isn't it? Perhaps we oughtn't to take a chance.
OK, well, I'll ask for the bill. Excuse me, can I have the bill? Now then, what about you?
Oh, mine isn't much of a family, really. Just me and my father. I really don't have any other relatives. Oh, apart from my cousin Bill, who's up in Birmingham. He's doing some kind of engineering job.
Bill Morton?
No, Bill Lonergan.
Excuse me. Can we have the bill, please? Thank you. I used to be at school with a Bill Lonergan.
That would be the one. Yes. He lived down here till a couple of years ago. He was a kind of elder brother to me when I was a kid. A bit mad, but sweet with it. Terrible temper.
Yes, we were on the cricket team together. He couldn't bear to lose.
That was Bill.
Here you are, sir. Thank you.
Look here, let's go Dutch on this.
No, I wouldn't dream of it.
You should, you know. Because those tickets weren't complimentaries, were they? I noticed when you took them out. They didn't have anything stamped across them.
Oh, well...
You shouldn't have gone to that trouble. But it was sweet of you. And I'm looking forward to the theatre.
Good. So am I.
Did you enjoy it?
What? Oh, yes.
Why did you choose that play? Because you wanted to see it? Or because you thought I'd like it?
It had very good reviews.
You think I'm arty, don't you? I'm not. I'm just a librarian, that's all. I do like going to the theatre, and you were right, I did want to see that play. But you don't have to pretend if you thought it dull.
Well, a little heavy going at times, perhaps.
That's better.
Sheila...
I think you've been pretending, haven't you?
Sorry?
You haven't been quite honest. You're not really a bookworm. I'm sure you like reading, but somehow you seem more the sporty type.
Oh, I played tennis till a few years back, but...
Really? I'm a member at Evesedale. Do you know it?
Yes. My Uncle Dan plays there, too.
Oh, you should get him to bring you along as a guest one day.
Yes, perhaps I will. Sheila, see, I'd imagined this differently.
What?
This evening. I thought it would end differently. The tube is... well, it's hardly romantic, is it?
I don't think it's supposed to be.
I wanted to take you off somewhere. I wanted to...
John, don't get carried away. John, there are other people. Please.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I made a fool of myself, haven't I?
No, you haven't. It's been a lovely evening, really. But perhaps we won't do it again.
Oh, there you are. What time is it? 11:15? You're late enough.
Am I?
He must have had a lot to say to keep you this long.
Who?
Really, John, Mr. Gimble.
Oh, Gimble, yeah, yes. Yeah, I think I'll go to bed.
Not until you've told me what he said. Now sit down and start from the beginning. Where did he take you?
To his club. We had dinner and so on, and talked.
About your reorganisation scheme?
Yes, about that.
Is he going to put it into effect? Recommend it to the board or something?
Yes, that's what he's going to do, recommend it to the board.
John, that's wonderful news. I don't know how you can take it so calmly.
Well, nothing's happened yet. It's only words.
But they'll have to promote you, won't they? As a reward. It's your scheme, after all. And that would mean more money. Another 200 a year at least.
Yes, I suppose so. I really am rather tired.
Oh, John, do you know what I should like, after you've got the rise? What we should save up for?
What?
A car. As a sub-department manager, you'll have a certain position to keep up.
A car?
Yes, with that extra money. What is it?
Money. Always the same with you. But I'll tell you something, May. If you knew how much I wished I had a car tonight. It was in the army. That's where the blackout started. The war ended while I was still in training, but I was determined to do well all the same. After I'd been in about 3 months, I was ragged one night in the barrack room. For some reason, everyone turned on me, calling me a crawler and so on. It seemed so unfair. I only wanted to be a good soldier. Anyway, I lashed out. Pretty wildly, I suppose, because I put a couple of them on the floor before they all piled on top of me. I won't say what happened after that. It was sick, and it was humiliating. A couple of days later, I had my first blackout. I got a pass into town, went to a pub on my own and had a few drinks. Didn't get back to camp till 3 in the morning with no idea where I'd been. They gave me 7 days CB for that.
And you've had blackouts since?
Occasionally, if I drink too much. I tried to be careful.
Then
what happens next in the trial? Won't my barrister see me?
It's not usual. He's briefed by your solicitor and by me, but he's very good, Magnus Newton. He has a very high reputation.
I know. I asked for him especially. When will he speak?
He will open your defence tomorrow. He's a clever man, very good with witnesses. You have an excellent chance with him.
I don't care. I only want to see justice done.
Tell me something more. Tell me about the next time you saw Sheila Morton.
It was at the tennis club, Eavesdale. A few days after the theatre, I decided there was no reason why I shouldn't join. I'd played tennis rather well, and I had Uncle Dan to put me up.
See that McKenna case in the papers?
No.
Darky bus conductor did away with his wife. Hardly blame him. Sunniest looking face he's got. All his mates say he's the sweetest tempered man on earth.
Why did he do it then?
She wouldn't give him a divorce. Real slut by the sound of it as well. White girl always drinking and carrying on and telling him he was a dirty nigger and lucky to be allowed in the country. Fascinating case.
Yes, sounds it.
You're itching to get a game, aren't you? Come on, there's a court free. Don't suppose there'll be much competition for you.
No, wait a minute. There's somebody I want to speak to.
I don't know, Les. I'd just like to wait a few weeks, that's all.
He's your father. Whatever you think best.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm sorry to butt in.
John! Didn't expect to see you here. Are you a guest?
No, in fact, I've joined. Actually, I was about to go on court with my Uncle Dan.
How'd you do?
Hello.
Don't suppose you'd care to join us, would you?
What, us against you two?
Well, I was thinking we might swap around. I could play with you, Sheila.
You seem to have this all sorted out.
No, well,
Yes, come on, Les, it'll be fun. Make a change to play with someone new, won't it?
Long as you can do the running around, young man.
No, I can do that all right. Well, come on, men, let's get started.
I hope you're not too out of practice. Les Jackson is actually pretty good.
Don't you worry. Everything's going to be all right. Mine.
I've got it.
Yes! Good rally, all set. Can we manage another one?
I certainly can. Haven't had much to do so far.
All right, change ends. But remember, it's not the Davis Cup, won't you, Wilkins?
Got it. Oh, sorry, Sheila. Oh, that was out.
No, it was good.
Are you sure it looked out? I was certain I overhit it.
I said the ball was in, didn't I? You're set again. I think that's enough for now.
Funny. Dan, didn't you think that was out?
We've had a fair bit of exercise. Let's call it a day, shall we?
Oh, I've upset him, haven't I? Jackson, he didn't want to play anymore.
Thing is, John, we don't normally try quite so hard.
What we all need is a drink, eh? I know I do. And maybe that wife of yours will let you put one back for once. See you at the bar.
What did he say? Your Uncle Dan?
About what?
About a wife? Your wife?
My...
Look, there's not much point trying to impress me on the tennis court, is there, if you're already married? I must say, I think it's rather underhand of you not to have mentioned it. I imagine the invalid sister's an invention as well. Still, I suppose you need some excuse for taking out library books by Moira Maloverer.
What?
Story in the paper. The McKenna case. Everyone seems to be on his side.
Should have given him the divorce, shouldn't she?
He had a young lady too, one of his own race. And listen to this. For the defence, Magnus Newton QC claimed that McKenna had indulged in no carnal relations with the girl, nor would have done until he had formally separated from his wife.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
You don't?
All right, he shouldn't have murdered her, but it was under severe provocation, wasn't it? And if two people agree they don't love each other anymore, they ought to get a divorce.
Sounds like a communistic idea to me. I should never let you go.
Wouldn't you? Even if you weren't in love with me?
But I am, aren't I? I shall be late for work. And you don't want to get into Mr. Gimbel's bad books. Not now. When's the board going to approve your scheme?
Oh, shortly, I should imagine.
Then I think we should go round to your mother's tonight and spring it on her. Show her how well you've done for yourself. I might even take a few furnishing catalogues over. She'll be interested to see some of the new decor I've chosen. And it'll make a change from cards.
Check. Time's ticking away, boy. Those two are taking a time over the washing up. Or else May really has cornered your mother with those catalogues. Oh, terrible woman, May.
You think so?
Just an expression. Are you going to move?
Yes. I caught up on the McKenna case this morning.
Man's a fool.
Thought you were on his side.
Beating her to death with a rolling pin. That's where he went wrong. Hardly expect to get away with it that way, can you?
What would you have done?
Make your move. Any number of ways, really. Just so long as it looks like an accident. Falling under a tube train with an attack of vertigo. Non-swimmer out of their depth at the baths. Yachting mishap.
Hardly very practical.
Is that what you're looking for? Something practical?
No, there's no need to make it personal.
Oh, isn't there? Come on, Johnny boy. All right, May's a terrible woman. And I dare say it's all too easy to find fault in someone you're living with and attractions in someone you're not.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not blind, boy. That girl at the tennis club, Sheila Morton, stuck out a mile. You had your eye on her.
Did it?
I've no doubt she's given you some encouragement. Been around a bit from what I hear. Kid called Bill Lonergan was at school with you. She went out with him for quite a while. Then there was Len Pilkington, plays soccer for Dulwich Hamlet. And as for this Jackson fellow at the tennis club... Time's up.
What?
The game.
Oh.
It was checkmate anyway.
An awful death, to be sure. A young woman with very likely the best of her life still before her, bludgeoned to death in a frenzied attack. That much is agreed upon. We do not have the murder weapon, but it was probably a large stone. We have no idea what she was doing on the beach at that time of night, but we do know that her clothes were torn and there were scratches on the inside of her legs, indicating an attempted sexual assault. I see revulsion in your faces, ladies and gentlemen, and rightly so. But difficult as it is, you must clear these emotional reactions from your mind. You are here to decide upon the culprit, upon the killer. You are here to decide whether the man you see before you in the dock, John Wilkins, was really capable of this frightful murder, or whether, as we, the defense, maintain, it was committed by person or persons unknown.
Justice? Men dressed up in wigs and robes? Is that how they discover the truth? They must find it, mustn't they? But how will they? If I don't know whether I killed her, how can they?
Try and remember. Try and remember all you can.
It was almost June. The weather was looking up. And I came to realise something. I realised Sheila couldn't be really angry with me. I mean, what had I done? I'd invented an invalid sister. I hadn't mentioned I was married. I'd made a bit of a fool of myself on the tennis court. But all these things I'd done for her sake. I had no evidence at all that she didn't like me. So I determined to confront her, to ask her face to face what she felt. Oh, but before I could, something rather unexpected happened at work.
Have a seat, Wilkins. You're not here for a dressing down.
Thank you, sir.
Now then, this reorganisation scheme, the board were favourably impressed.
That would be your scheme, would it, sir?
Naturally, the Combined Service and Complaints Department will need a new department head. Equally naturally, that post has been offered to me. The question then came up of a sub-department manager. I said I thought the post unnecessary.
Sir, if I might point out, I think something very unfair has been
Keep your opinions to yourself for the moment, Wilkins. The importance and the salary of the manager will thus be considerably increased. However, since I'm nearing retirement age, I'm happy to commute that increase into an early pension.
I don't think I'm with you, sir.
I'm vacating the post for a younger man, Wilkins. You.
Me? As department head?
35 years here are enough. I've decided it's time to cultivate my garden.
Me? But I don't know what to say.
You might thank me. I've mulled over your shortcomings, but nevertheless...
But it was my scheme, wasn't it? Admit it. You stole it from me.
The world is not always fair. You will learn that as you grow older. Accept your good fortune and strive to better it without harping on the past. Congratulations, Wilkins.
Yes. Yes, thank you, sir.
Your tickets, Mrs. Pennington. Oh, thank you. Oh, hello.
Hello.
We've got a couple of new Moira Malevoras in. Your invalid sister may not have read them.
Yes. I wanted to say something about that.
Oh, don't worry. I was annoyed. But that's something about me. I can never be annoyed for long. So if you do want the Moira Malevoras, they're over here.
No, You're looking very happy about something.
I am, rather. I've just fixed up our summer holiday, Daddy's and mine. I was afraid he might not be well enough to travel, but the doctor says he can, as long as the hotel's got a lift.
Oh, where are you going?
For some fresh sea air. Brighton. I booked up at the Langland overlooking the promenade. It's going to be great fun.
Sounds it.
Only snag is, it's the first 2 weeks of June, so it won't be terribly hot. I love to sunbathe, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do. Won't you be lonely, though?
Oh, I expect I shall find something to occupy the time, shan't I? Oh, people waiting. Must go. See you at the tennis club one of these days. Bye for now.
It was all coming together, wasn't it? The promotion at work and the invitation from Sheila, because it was an invitation. I'm sure of it. Why else would she have told me where she was going, even down to the hotel? She wanted me there to keep her company. All I had to do was fix it with May.
A what?
A second honeymoon. Wouldn't you like one?
Can we afford it?
May, this job will mean a rise of £400 a year. Surely you can understand that, can't you? £400. We should have a drink to celebrate.
No, John, you know it does you no good. Will they let you take the time off?
So long as it's before my appointment comes through, yes. Say, first 2 weeks of June.
But it's nearly June now.
It's finer, remember, in June and September. That's what the railway adverts say, and Brighton will be less crowded.
Brighton?
We had our first honeymoon there, didn't we? Have to go back to the same place. Maybe a better hotel.
Well, so long as it's not too expensive. We mustn't waste money.
No, it'll be wonderful. May.
What?
Let's go to bed.
Now? But it's so early.
Here, then.
John, what are you...
No.
Not in the living room. No. Not with the lights on.
Yes, now. We must.
Please.
No.
Can't we wait?
No. And I thought of Sheila. Walking along the beach with her at night. Clasping her to me. Sinking into the warm sand. And words lost in the waves suck and roll.
Now then, Dr. Andriades, how does he feel it's going?
That is not one of the questions I've asked him.
Early days, anyway. I should say that everything you've got from him so far is quite remarkable. You've obviously established a great imaginative sympathy with Wilkins.
Thank you. I believe it is a relief for him to talk.
Yes. And, of course, that's why you as a psychoanalyst were brought in. But at the same time, the very completeness of these confidences presents those of us responsible for his defense with a problem. What kind of a witness do you think Wilkins would make?
Hard to say. He's of average intelligence, according to his IQ, a little slow, and yet there is an impression of honesty, or at least a great endeavour to be honest.
But can I put him in the witness box? Will he stand up to cross-examination?
I don't think I can offer a useful opinion. I can say only that at times he is easily confused.
Let me put it more clearly. If he goes into the box and says some of the things he's said already, he'll damage his own case. But if he doesn't go into the box, that will also be damaging.
Mr. Newton, you do not concern yourself with truth, only with winning the case. I am not concerned with the legal battle, only with John Wilkins' mental health.
All right, then. What about insanity?
Insanity?
Well, you've been talking to him for days, man. Is he sane or not?
He suffers from a conviction of inferiority plus a degree of sexual repression and finds compensation for his maladjustment in creating fantasies. There are also some psychotic symptoms indicating a potential for violence.
Dr. Andriades, psychological analysis does not impress juries and can be torn to pieces by any good cross-examiner. You have heard of the McNaughton rules?
Naturally, the distinction between man's knowledge of right and wrong. They are an antiquated...
Possibly, but they are part of the law of this country. Now, is there any chance that we could change to a plea of guilty but insane under the McNaughton rules?
No. There is none.
Thank you. I shall continue to fight the case as it stands.
There is one thing you should be aware of, Mr. Newton. You may think little of psychological analysis, but something has struck me very forcibly in speaking to Wilkins. If that young man is indeed a murderer, then for some strange reason he killed the wrong woman.
What's the matter? Don't you like it?
It's not a bad room. But I would have expected a 2-star hotel to provide slightly larger wardrobes.
They might expect guests staying for a fortnight not to have enough luggage for 6 months.
John, are we going to carry on arguing the whole holiday?
No, I'm sorry. here.
I'm unpacking.
Well, this is supposed to be a second honeymoon.
And that's the point of it, is it? Going to bed at all hours of the day? I don't know what's got into you lately, really, I don't.
Nothing. Nothing's got into me.
Well, haven't you any other ideas of what we could do?
Go for a swim?
The water will be freezing. Still, you go in if you want. Don't worry about me.
It's no fun going in on your own. What ideas have you got?
I don't know. Walk along the prom.
How exciting. All right. We can look at other hotels as well, if you like.
But we're booked in here.
Well, if you don't like it, we can check out. I heard good reports of the Langland, actually.
I'm not going to be seen humping luggage along to another hotel.
Right, suit yourself. I might take a look anyway, just out of interest. Well, come on then, if we're going for that walk.
Could you remind me when they booked in?
On the 2nd of June, sir. That was a Saturday.
Yes. Now, tell me, Mr. Shaddock, as a hall porter, you must be a fairly keen observer of human life. Guests coming and going.
I like to think I have a keen eye, sir.
Good. So, what was your impression of this couple, Mr. and Mrs. Wilkins? Were they close? Were they...
Oh, I wouldn't have said that, sir. Quite frosty to each other. Definitely.
She more to him, or he more to her?
My lord, the good Mr. Shaddock can hardly be expected to calculate relative degrees of frost. He's not a meteorologist.
If you could make your objection slightly less colourful, Mr. Newton. Nevertheless, you have a point. Continue, please, Mr. Haley.
My lord, my attempt is simply to establish the prisoner's frame of mind during those few days leading up to the fatal Monday evening. Mr. Shaddock, you were on duty throughout that time, were you not?
I was, sir, yes.
You saw Wilkins and his wife often?
When they came down to breakfast, also lunch and dinner.
And could you recount any snatches of conversation that you may, by chance, have overheard?
Well, I can, sir, as a matter of fact. It was on the Monday, around midday. As I say, they'd been in and out since they arrived and not really talking to each other much at all. So when they came back for lunch and were having, well, rather a heated discussion, I couldn't help noticing.
We might as well have stayed at home. There's no use us coming on holiday if you're going to be like this.
Like what?
You know perfectly well. You're not interested in being with me at all. You simply don't care.
I have just trailed round a dozen shops while you look for the best value hat in town.
Talk so loud. I'm not having a scene here. The hall porter's watching us.
I don't care if the entire hotel's watching us. Oh, May. May, I do want you to enjoy your holiday, really.
Then why do you go off on walks by yourself, looking for hotels we're never going to move into?
I promise we'll spend the rest of the day together. I promise. There's a putting course up at Black Rock. What about that? Then in the evening we could go to the cinema. Wouldn't you like that? They've got the Gregory Peck one you wanted to see on at the Regent.
That would be nice.
Well, that's what we'll do then. Now, why don't we go into the dining room where there's one of those corner tables left?
Hello there, my pair of lovebirds.
Uncle Dan.
As ever was. May...
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I have descended from the capital in the spirit of good fellowship and hospitality, which will not be quenched by the looks that suggest I have crawled out of the woodwork. In short, to invite you to lunch.
But we have a meal here.
I also happen to know a little bar.
You always know everywhere. Come on, May, it'll be fun. Let's go.
Daniel Hunter.
That's me.
And to remind the jury, you are related to the accused on his mother's side.
Known Johnny over there ever since he was a toddler.
I see. And why did you travel down to Brighton on that Monday?
Nothing else to do. Spot of adventure. Besides, I was a bit worried about the boy.
Worried about him?
He hadn't been himself lately. Pressure of work, I dare say.
No, Mr. Hunter, I'm afraid you cannot speculate. Simply answer the questions. How did you find the prisoner when you arrived?
Relieved to see me, that's what I reckoned. Badly in need of a good time, and no one was going to provide it for him unless I did. A few lychee? What do you say, my dear? A couple of kumquats, some chow-chow?
No, thank you.
A spot of ginger always does you good. Breaks up any amount of wind. Pity politicians don't use it. Well, some fragrant tea, then, to wash away our troubles. Ah! Ching Yao Mei Yao Sha.
You still remember Chinese after all these years?
Not too well, but it seems to have worked. He's going for the kettle.
If you'll excuse me, I have rather a bad headache. I shall go back to the hotel and lie down.
Oh, but May...
Please don't move, either of you. I can make my own way.
No, I'll get the bill.
You're spoiling the night.
I haven't enjoyed it. I think it perfectly reasonable to leave.
I thought Dan only wanted to give us a treat.
I don't like him. I think he's coarse. And you've had a drink when you shouldn't have done.
May, can't I enjoy myself for once, for God's sake?
You can, but I would rather not be here. I shall see you back at the hotel whenever you care to return.
Right? They're bringing it. Oh, is she away?
She wanted a rest. We're going to the cinema this evening.
Then we've got time for a couple of shots of the Pope's phone number. That's 69, twice, please.
One day you'll say that to a Catholic, and he won't like it.
Oh, all the Catholics I've ever met are men who can take a joke. Cigar?
No, thanks.
I will. You know, I'm not surprised you want to murder May.
I want to what?
Oh, the McKenna case and all that. Chap Newton got him off with manslaughter. Did you read that? Anyway, I realise you don't really mean to do away with her, but, oh, yes, thank you. Question of divorce, is it?
She won't give me one. Not as I've asked, but she won't.
Down the hatch. Now, put that down you and we'll go in search of an honest beer. I can see they've had enough of us here.
A beer? Honest, perhaps not just yet, if you don't mind.
Oh, whenever you're ready. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. But I'll just have to have a walk, think things out. We'll meet later on, all right?
Right you are, my boy. 6:30 in the Admiral Nelson West Street. That'll give you time for the cinema.
The cinema? Oh, yeah.
And you work at the Langland Hotel, is that right?
That's correct. I'm on reception there.
And did the prisoner come into the Langland that evening?
Yes, he did.
And what was his manner? Was he at all nervous?
No, it wasn't. He seemed quite confident. At the same time, I would have said he'd been drinking.
One moment, please. Can you explain why you thought that?
Well, Your Honour, it wasn't just that he smelled a drink. He did, though. It was the look in his eye. It was steady enough, but sort of unfocused.
Thank you. Carry on.
Well, it was shortly after 5:30 at this time. The pubs had only just opened, so I reckon he'd had a good lunch. Anyway, he asked for Sheila Morton, and as I'd been given a message saying she was expecting a gentleman, I let him go straight up.
Yes?
Who is it, Bill? Is it Les?
How would I know? I've never set eyes on him.
No,
But I do know you, though. You're John Wilkins. We were at school together. Bill Lonergan.
Yes. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, I remember.
Close the door. Draft.
You better come in.
Look, I'm sorry. I didn't...
Doing here?
Well, I was told in the hall to come up.
They must have thought you were somebody else. My father's ill, but you can see. The doctor said he must be spared any excitement. It's his heart.
Yes, I'm really sorry.
Who is it, Sheila?
A visitor. Someone called John Wilkins.
John Wilkins. I used to know it's Geoffrey Wilkins in Clapham.
Yeah, I guess that was my father.
Businessman, wasn't he? That's how we knew each other.
Father, I think you should rest.
Rest? Then why couldn't I have stayed in London? Now then, young man, you come here to the bed. Let me see you.
Sir.
If you'll excuse me, I'll just have a cigarette outside.
Yes, off you go. You too, Sheila. Leave me to talk over old times with young Jim here.
John.
If I'm going to die, I might as well die reminiscing.
Father?
Off you go. I'll call you if I need you.
She's a good girl, but she wants her own way all the time. Where was I? Oh, your father, yes. The pond on the common, you know it?
Yes.
Well, I remember one summer evening we walked round it together, your father and I, and he had you with him trotting along. I wasn't doing too well just then. No building work, which was my line, and I wanted your father to come in with me. I offered him a very generous deal, but he wouldn't take it. Do you know why?
No.
Lazy. He'd no eye for the future. A housing boom after the war, and I made my packet. He would have had half. He would have passed it on to you, in fact. He had no vision.
Yeah, sounds like him.
Yeah. Oh,
what's the matter?
Pills in that bottle. Give me two.
Here you go.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Oh, yeah. Yes, quick.
There you are.
Oh,
Well, I'll fetch Sheila.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll tell you something. They all think I'm dying. Doctors think I'm dying. So does Sheila. So does young Bill. Come to pay his last respects to his old uncle, but I'm not finished yet, am I?
I'll call.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Wilkins, what are you doing here?
Sheila, you better see your father.
I'll be back in a moment. Can you men sort yourselves out?
You two know each other then?
Yes, from the tennis club.
Yeah, this is a meeting of old acquaintances, isn't it?
You still haven't explained why you're here, Wilkins.
I'm in Brighton for a few days, and I remembered Sheila was staying here. I dropped in, that's all, as a friend. Same as you, I imagine.
Not quite, no. Sheila and I became engaged last week. When I heard her father was ill, I came down as soon as I could.
Engaged?
Yes. To be married.
Yes, I see. Congratulations.
How's the old man?
Sleeping. But the doctor says if he has another heart attack...
Sheila, you look worn out. Why don't you go for a lie down? I'll sit with you.
No, Les, I'll wait till the nurse comes. Then I shall go out for a walk on my own. I need a couple of hours away from everybody and everything.
Tell me, Mr. Jackson, were you at any time aware of the prisoner's pursuit of Sheila Morton?
It seemed pretty obvious from his behaviour at the tennis club. And Sheila herself mentioned it.
But you did not regard Wilkins as a serious rival.
Well, look at him. Would you?
Mr. Jackson, I know this must be painful for you, but just answer the questions, please.
No, I did not. He was too silly for that. It's like having a dog around you all the time.
And what was his reaction when you told him of your engagement to Miss Morton?
He looked like a sheep hit by a poleaxe.
He was shocked by the news.
He certainly was. He looked dazed, as though he couldn't take it in.
And then what happened?
I suggested Sheila have a rest, and she said no, she'd wait till the nurse came, and then... Excuse me. And then she said she'd go for a walk on her own.
The prisoner was there when this was said?
Yes. He watched her go back into the room and shut the door. And then Bill Lonergan suggested they go to the pub. And that was the last I saw of him.
It's funny seeing you after all these years, and in these circumstances. I remember you from school, though. You were pretty good at cricket.
So were you.
That's right. You look really done in, actually.
Nah, just tired, that's all.
Sink that whiskey, that'll brace you up. I tell you, though, all this is pretty rough on Sheila, poor kid.
Or what?
The state of the old man. He won't last more than a couple of days. That's why she sent for me.
I see. Do you want another one?
Thanks. You're down here on holiday, is that it?
Yes, excuse me. Whiskey and a pint of bitter, please.
With the wife? Oh, aren't you married?
Yes, I am. She's here.
Haven't got hitched yet myself. Would you recommend it?
Depends on the partner, doesn't it?
Cheers.
Cheers.
I think you're keen on Sheila, aren't you? The way you looked when you heard she was engaged to Jackson. Don't like his type, is that it?
He's not good enough for her, that's all.
Yes, you really are sweet on Sheila, I can tell. Does she know you're married?
Yes. Well, that is, she discovered it after we'd been out together a few times.
Been out together? Think that was right? Not to tell her?
Well, it seemed the kindest thing under the circumstances.
Well, what circumstances?
She'd become so mad about me. I wasn't egging her on or anything, but
But what?
Well, all right, I shouldn't have done it, but my wife's a bitch, and that's a fact.
Not so loud.
Well, who's talking loudly? She's a bitch, and Sheila's a sweet girl. As you say, nothing I could do if she wouldn't keep away from me.
I think you should get back to your wife.
I've just told you, haven't I? I don't want to. One for the road?
No, thanks.
Oh, yeah, what's the matter? Can't you hold it? We can drink a toast. She's Sheila, a fine girl, and I'm sorry I had to disappoint her.
Why don't you just shut up and go back to your hotel? I'm leaving.
Yeah, whatever you like. Fancy another one myself? Yes, please. Yes, over here.
And that was what Wilkins said to you in the pub?
Pretty much, so far as I can remember.
Thank you. No further questions, my lord?
Mr. Newton?
Thank you, my lord. Mr. Lonergan, you too were engaged to Sheila Morton at one time. Isn't that correct?
In a casual sort of way. We were very young.
And so the prisoner's excitement may have been caused by nothing more than coming face to face with another rival. It may quite easily have subsided after you left the pub.
That's possible, I suppose.
He didn't manifest any signs of violence while you were with him?
No, he didn't.
Or seem at all angry with Sheila?
No.
He did not, in short, display the behaviour of one who would, later that night, go out and bludgeon her to death?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Lonergan.
But what?
I'm sorry?
What signs would there be? He was going out of control. He could have done anything. He's a madman.
My lord, may I point out...
Silence! Silence! The court will be adjourned until Monday morning.
Doesn't look good, does it?
He'll get off. He's innocent. He's my son, he's innocent, and he'll get off.
Of course he will, Flo. It's just the evidence.
Then we need new evidence.
Well, easily said, old duck, easily said. But if Johnny himself can't remember what he was doing between 6 and 12 that evening, well, I walked over half of Brighton between pubs and I didn't see him.
Well, someone must know. Someone must have met him. Everyone wants to prove him guilty. He's only got us.
Us and May.
May? What's she done since the trial opened? She hasn't even visited him. I'll give her a piece of my mind.
Best not, Flo. Won't help matters.
Well, it'll help me. And what about you? What are you going to do?
Me?
Well, if you only walked over half of Brighton, why don't you walk over the other half? See what you can turn up.
It's pretty late in the day. Trail's gone a bit cold.
But he's innocent, Dan. If we don't prove it, no one else will.
Have a drink. Whiskey? Sherry?
Thank you. A small sherry.
Look, Doctor, I owe you an apology. I was pretty sharp with you last time we met about the plea of insanity and so on.
It was nothing.
This case puts me on edge.
Why?
Here we are.
Thank you.
Maybe it's because Wilkins asked for me personally after the result I got on the McKenna case.
And you don't feel you will achieve the same success here?
Look at the facts. Man comes back to his hotel room, doesn't know where he's been all night, blood on his clothes, and he's seen staggering off the beach. Then, as if that's not enough, what's the first thing he tells the police when they come to pick him up? I'd never have killed Sheila Morton if I'd known what I was doing.
That is what he believes. That is part of his honesty. Let me tell you something. I don't think Wilkins asked you to defend him because of your success with McKenna. He asked for you because of your empathy with McKenna.
I don't understand.
McKenna was a Negro, a killer, and possibly an adulterer. Yet because of your handling of the case, the public was on his side.
McKenna was provoked by his wife beyond endurance.
And that, I'm sure, is how Wilkins sees himself. If you put his wife on the stand...
It will be an admission of defeat. At the same time, I shall have to call her sooner or later. She's his only alibi for returning to the hotel at all. But I need to call a couple of other witnesses first.
Well, the girl's father harbors no grudge towards Wilkins for some reason.
Old Morton. Yeah, but he's a touch gaga. Unlikely to impress a jury.
And Wilkins himself?
I still haven't decided. Do you believe he really can't remember about that evening?
Oh, yes, he's a builder of fantasies, but he is not capable of such conscious deceit.
But he's got to remember. That amnesia stuff's no good for a jury. Look, would you go and see him again? Just try and make him talk. I'd feel a lot happier.
Very well. But remember, Mr. Newton, the clue to Wilkins is his underlying honesty. He made a feeble attempt to deceive his wife and attract Sheila Morton, but now he is saying, I do not know whether I committed this crime or not. If I did, then I must be punished.
First time you've ever visited here in all the years we've been married.
I'm never at ease in a flat. It's not what I call a real home.
Is that what you came to tell me?
Would you mind switching that thing off? Thank you. Thank you. I didn't come to tell you anything. I came to ask you something.
Oh?
A favour. If you're called as a witness, I want you to tell the truth.
That's exactly what I intend to do.
No, not the truth as you see it. The truth from John's point of view. You must do what you can to help him. He's your husband, May.
Not for long.
What do you mean?
I mean not for long. You're so worried about your precious son. You've no idea how it feels to be the wife of a murderer.
But he's not. You must stand by him.
I'll wait till the case is over, that's as fair as I can be. But afterwards I'm going to change my name. I'm going to leave London and I'll find a job in a town where nobody knows me. Because do you know what your darling son's done to me? Your son who's so keen on his mother's steak and kidney pies. Your beautiful little boy. He's ruined my life.
Mr. Farm, you've just been telling prosecuting counsel how you discovered the body of Sheila Morton.
That's right. It was awful. In an awful state.
As you said. And how, before finding the body, you saw a man walk up the stone steps from the beach. A man whose face was, and I quote, ghastly pale, and who staggered as though he was ill or drunk.
That's correct.
And whom you have identified as the prisoner, John Wilkins.
Yes, it was him.
Now, you were alerted to this man by a remarkable noise. A noise you heard from the beach before he appeared.
That's right. It was like the laugh of a hyena when it has some prey at its mercy.
How descriptive. When were you last in Africa, Mr. Farnham?
I've never been outside England in my life.
At any rate, it was a horrible laugh. Was it, Mr. Farnham? It frightened you?
It made my blood run cold.
You have, however, had no chance to compare this to the prisoner's own laugh. Now, let's pass on to what else you noticed, shall we, Mr. Farnham? This man you saw, what clothes was he wearing?
A sports jacket and trousers.
Of what colour?
Couldn't exactly say.
Ah. Was there any blood on them?
Couldn't be certain. The light wasn't good enough.
But it was good enough for you to identify the features of the prisoner. A man whom you had never previously seen. Mr. Farnham, I suggest to you that you were walking along, heard a very unnerving laugh, and then saw somebody coming up from the beach.
It was a murderous laugh. That laugh had in it the colour of murder.
The colour of murder. So, naturally, the next person you saw must be the murderer, and John Wilkins, who happened to be wearing a sports jacket and trousers like thousands of other people in Brighton. Do you agree now that you can't swear to the identification?
I think I saw him. And I'll repeat again. That laugh had the colour of murder in it.
Look, Squire, the police have asked me all this.
But I'm not the police, am I?
So you say. True, you don't look like the police, and God knows you see enough of them from this side of the bar. Never when you need 'em, mind.
Then he was in here, John Wilkins.
Oh, yeah, talking too loud, kicking up a stink, that's why I remember him.
This being a respectable pub.
Naturally, what are you implying?
Nothing special, just those young ladies up the far end of the bar. Would they be the reason you see too much of the police in here?
Now, you listen to me, whoever you are. I'd as soon have you out the door.
All right, keep your hair on. I'm a man of the world. My nephew isn't, though.
Like I told the police, I didn't see him leave.
Which implies he went quiet at some point. Maybe talking to someone he wanted to impress. My boy's life's at stake, you realise that? If he did go off with one of those women...
How much is your boy's life worth?
Are you talking about money?
That's the other problem with the police, you see. They want all that information for free.
Wilkins? John, are you listening? Are you with me? Are you eating in here? You've lost weight.
Have you noticed?
What?
In court, everyone becoming smaller, further away. The voices are just as loud, but like on television. We never bought a television.
John, I want you to think about that Monday night.
Blank. Completely blank.
Magnus Newton is doing well, but if you can remember
Will
what
I be
you
called
were
as a
doing,
witness?
If Newton thinks you'll impress the jury, yes. I believe they're coming round to your side.
Are they?
But they will want to know how you spent those lost hours. If you can give them any clue.
Disgusting.
I'm sorry?
Disgusting.
What did you say?
Disgusting.
What makes you think so? What have you remembered?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Leave me alone now.
Eat up, Bill. Court restarts at 2. Well, does it matter? You're not being called. I don't want to miss anything, though. I always said to Sheila, I don't want to go to Brighton. London air agrees with me. I probably could manage a pudding after all. Here, have mine. Oh. You sit at home retired, wondering what to do with yourself. You've no idea of the drama that unfolds, perfectly free of charge, in any English court. The ceremonial alone. Is that all you can see? Not at all, not at all. Take that young man, Geoffrey Wilkins' son. He doesn't look like a murderer, does he? You'd happily let your daughter go around with him. You think he's guilty, though? Oh, certain of it. That's not to say he'll be found guilty, mind you. Many a murderer walking around scot-free. Oh, yes, the drama. Didn't you feel anything for Sheila at all? Haven't I just said I want to see her murderer punished? Excuse me, I'm going to go and buy a paper.
It's not locked. Never is.
Miss Brenton?
I'm through in the kitchen. With you in a second.
You're not far wrong there.
Can't miss breakfast, even if it is after lunch. Now then, we haven't met before, have we?
Haven't had that pleasure.
Right, well, the fee's £3. Put it on the mantelpiece, then you can take your clothes off.
Much as I'd love to.
If you want something special, it could cost extra. Come on, tell me. I'm not shy.
I'd like you to look at a photograph, actually.
Oh, yeah? Takes all sorts.
You recognise him?
He's the one on trial for doing that girl in. What are you showing it to me for?
One of your colleagues said she saw him leaving a pub with you.
Notoriously unreliable, my colleagues, as you call them. Anyway, most of them don't like me. I'm too much of the businesswoman for them.
If you did meet John Wilkins, if you were prepared to admit it, there might be some sort of reward in it for you.
Really? A £5, would it be? I make 30 quid a week here. Look at this. Here, fresh linen every day.
Did you meet John Wilkins that night?
Look, I'll tell you something, whatever your name is, and I can tell you're not a copper. Sex is a career, like any other. I'm 33 now, and I shall retire when I'm 40. How many men could do that, eh?
I'm John Wilkins' uncle. He's facing a death sentence.
Oh, don't just stand there. Here, give me a hand tucking these sheets in.
Here they are.
Well, what if I did meet him?
On the night the girl was murdered.
I'm not saying anything. But what if I did?
I think you should give evidence in court.
I'm in court often enough. Not in the witness box, unfortunately.
I think it's your duty.
You don't look like a man who knows a lot about duty.
He's my nephew, and I'm trying to save his life. I want you to come up to London with me, Miss Brenton.
And finally, did you notice any change in your husband's attitude towards you over the last few months?
Yes, I did. On one occasion, I made a remark about his mother still regarding him as a baby. And he hit me.
Thank you. No further questions.
My lord, if I might be allowed a final cross-examination. My lord. Mrs. Wilkins, on the evening of June the 4th, were you worried about your husband when he did not return?
Yes, I was. I couldn't sleep. I looked at the clock and it was 11:30. It way past my usual time.
And he came in shortly afterwards?
Yes, a few minutes later. I asked him where he'd been and what he'd been doing, but he seemed dazed and unable to reply. His breath smelt of drink.
Did you speak to him sharply?
I did, and why shouldn't I? I'd suffered enough from him on that holiday. Then he said he must wash his hands, and I noticed there was blood on them. I asked him where it had come from, and he said, mind your own damn business.
Now, to clear up a matter of scientific fact, this blood, which was also on the prisoner's jacket, was of an extremely common group, a group shared by both the victim and John Wilkins. Now, the prosecution have suggested that the blood was Sheila Morton's. It is, however, equally possible that it belonged to Wilkins himself. Your husband did he not, have a cut on his thumb?
Yes, he did. But it wasn't a large cut, and the amount of blood...
Did your husband seem perturbed that you'd noticed this blood, Mrs. Wilkins?
No. No, he didn't.
Nor did he make any attempt to clean it off his jacket before the police arrived next morning?
No.
I see. Thank you, Mrs. Wilkins.
I don't know what I'm doing here, I'll tell you that for nothing. I hate helping the police.
But if Johnny gets off, it's one in the eye for them, isn't it? Maybe that's the reason.
Search me. All I know is I shall have to move my business afterwards.
You've dealt with her superbly.
But I shall have to call him as a witness. Hello?
Mr. Newton. Dr. Andriadis, I'd like you to meet Betty Prenton. I think she might be very useful in our case.
Now then, Miss Prenton, say there are no misunderstandings. Could you tell us your occupation?
I'm a prostitute.
And could you tell us, in your own words, how you came to meet John Wilkins?
I picked him up in a pub in Brighton. The diving bell it was, although he smelt as if he'd been to a couple before that. I felt sorry for him and I took him home with me.
For what purpose?
For any purpose he felt like. As it happened, all he wanted to do was talk. Told me endlessly about his wife, who he hated, and some silly little flirt he was moon-eyed about. Laid on the bed and cried all the time.
All the time?
No, not quite. I could see he'd had nothing to eat that evening, so I set out to make him some baked beans on toast. He insisted on helping. Then, as soon as I gave him the tin opener, he gashed his thumb.
Did he now? And was there much blood from this gash?
There was. A surprising amount. It wasn't a long cut, but it must have been deep. The blood ran down his wrist and onto the sleeve of his jacket.
Onto the sleeve of his jacket? You're sure about that?
I just told you, didn't I? Anyway, he washed the cut, but it was starting to bleed again when he left.
Which was at what time?
Just after 11. I had a client coming and I kicked him out.
And that was the last you saw of him?
And a damn sight too much as well. Earned nothing and got myself into this sort of mess. It doesn't do to feel sorry for people.
Thank you, Miss Prenton.
Oh, she was a brassy one, my word. I can't wait to read today's report in the papers. Shall we go for a drink?
Haven't got time. Anyway, you're not allowed alcohol, are you?
Oh, fiddlesticks. That was when Sheila was alive. This heart complaint was all boredom, I reckon.
No, I have to go and pack.
Pack? Why?
I've had a letter from my firm. They want me back in Birmingham. Besides, I've given my evidence, nothing to stay for.
But Wilkins is going into the box tomorrow. You can't miss that.
Uncle, it's not a show. This cat and mouse game, it makes me shudder. And at the centre of it all, poor dead Sheila.
Now, look,
I'm sorry. Look, there's a train at 8:30 in the morning. I'll catch that, and I'll write to you.
So, Mr. Wilkins, you remember drinking with Bill Lonergan at around 6 o'clock in the evening. And what is your next recollection?
Waking up next morning in my bedroom at the hotel.
And you positively cannot bring to mind any further incident of the evening?
No.
At 9 o'clock, you were apparently in a public house called the Diving Bell. You do not remember that?
No.
Later, you went home with a Miss Betty Prenton. Her evidence from this box meant nothing to you?
Nothing at all.
And returning to the hotel, your hand covered in blood?
I remember nothing.
I see. I come now to your attitude when you were arrested. You told the police that you would never have hurt Sheila Morton if you had been in your right mind. What did you mean by that?
Well, that I had suffered a blackout. I didn't know what I might have done.
It was in no sense a confession, then?
How could I confess what I couldn't remember?
Indeed. Now, this, Mr. Wilkins, is my last question. Think carefully before you answer. Was there any intention in your mind, when you heard of her engagement, of hurting Sheila Morton?
Before God, I never meant to harm Sheila. I loved her.
Mr. Haley?
Lord. Now then, Mr. Wilkins, these blackouts, as you call them, am I right in thinking that a kind of shutter comes down over your mind for a period of time?
Yes.
And what does your doctor say?
I've never been to see a doctor.
Never been to see the doctor? How very strange. I assume these blackouts are upsetting, and yet...
I knew they were caused through drink. See, I didn't want to see a doctor.
Caused through drink? Mr. Wilkins, you remember going to a public house with Bill Lonergan, don't you?
Yes, more or less.
I will remind you of what you said to him. You said that Les Jackson, her recent fiancée, was not good enough for Sheila Morton, didn't you?
I may have done.
But her engagement was a shock to you, surely?
It was a shock.
And what were your feelings towards her when you found out? Were you loving? Angry? Upset?
Yeah, I was upset.
Let me remind you of something else you said to Mr. Lonergan. You claimed that Sheila couldn't keep away from you, that she was so mad about you that you couldn't bring yourself to tell her that you were married. Is that true?
We did go out.
How often?
Once.
Once. And yet, it seems to me that you were trying to imply that Sheila Morton was your mistress. Is that not so?
I'm not...
Whereas, in fact, you had never been intimate with her, had you? Had you?
No.
Those, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are the facts. The facts which the prisoner could not bring himself to acknowledge. So he invented a fantasy built on lust, which turned to hatred. A hatred which, before that evening was out, you felt compelled to turn into a hideous sort of reality. Isn't that so, Mr. Wilkins?
No. I don't know. Can't... Love.
I have already outlined the factors which you will have to take into account in deciding your verdict. The prisoner himself can be of no help to you. He says, quite frankly, I don't know what I did that night. I leave it to you to find out the truth. In deciding upon that truth, you must always bear in mind that the onus is on the prosecution to prove, beyond reasonable doubt, that John Wilkins was responsible for the murder of Sheila Morton. If you return a verdict of guilty, you must be certain...
Visitor for you. I'll be just outside me.
Thank you.
Remember me? No, you don't, do you? Betty Prenton. That you cry on my bed half the evening, fool that I am. Aren't you going to say anything?
A long time.
Yeah. Jury's been out 2 hours. Has to be a good sign. Means they're disagreeing. You didn't do it, did you? I can feel it inside. You're innocent. You haven't got murder in you. Oh, I'm going soft again. I don't know what's the matter with me.
Ring a message.
A what?
Message from Sheila. Been a long time. I want to see her. Why won't she come? Where is she?
Oh, God. Sheila. Oh, my God.
Members of the jury, are you agreed upon your verdict?
We are.
How do you find? Is the prisoner guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Oh, that's
Good of you to come round so soon after your holiday. You're looking well.
Well, the Mediterranean climates seem to agree with me.
Ah, yes. I thought you would like to know how Wilkins is progressing. I visited him in Broadmoor several times. His grip on reality is tenuous, but he seems to accept his situation.
Perhaps we should have pleaded insanity from the first.
But he was not insane, no, not then. He seemed to me simply a man predestined to become a victim, whether he was a killer or not.
You now believe that he was?
I have an open mind. He would not mount an appeal. His family caved in. His wife has left him. And you?
Let me tell you a story, Doctor. Something that happened while I was away. We went down to Italy in the car, my wife, my daughter and I. We were touring around, and one night we stayed in a small fishing village called St. Tommaso. Well, I'm not really one for sitting on a beach, and next morning I went for a walk on my own. Climbed a hill outside the village, sat down overlooking the sea, and dozed off. I was wakened, it was maybe half an hour later. I was wakened by the most frightful noise. First, I couldn't identify it, and then... Do you remember one of the witnesses in the case, a stupid old man called Farnham?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the laugh he said he'd heard? It was like that. Nothing earthly. Kind of wail.
Go on.
I was shivering, felt suddenly cold. I crawled to the edge of the hill, looked over. Below was a little cove, sandy beach, only one person on it. This person, a man, was reading a newspaper, and in a paroxysm of laughter. He was writhing around, almost as if he were having a fit. The cause of it all seemed to be what was in the newspaper. Of course, I couldn't read it at that distance, but when we reached Viareggio that evening, I bought the English papers, which were on sale there a couple of days late. In one of them, I found a report that old Morton, Sheila's father, had finally died of a heart attack.
And why did you assume the man on the beach was reading an English paper?
Because I recognized him. He was Morton's next of kin, Bill Lonergan.
And Lonergan inherited?
No, that's the thing. The old man had made a new will and left most of his money to some old people's home.
Then?
Well, don't you see? Don't you see how it all fits in? The court decided no one else had a motive for killing Sheila. But what about Lonergan? Old Morton was certain to die sooner or later, and Sheila would get his money. Lonergan had been engaged to her once. He'd come down from Birmingham with the idea of proposing again and becoming the husband of a comfortably off woman. Well, what does he find? She's become engaged to someone else. On top of that, he's angered by Wilkins' insinuations. Then, that night, he meets Sheila on her walk. Perhaps it really was by accident. But at any rate, she trusts him. He takes her down to the beach, and he kills her. Now the old man's money will be his as soon as he dies. Except it didn't work out that way. What do you think?
I think, after all, the holiday did you little good.
No, about Lonergan.
You're sure it was him on the beach?
It looked as like him as anyone I've ever seen. Doesn't it all make sense?
These autumn evenings are my favorites. The sense of tranquility.
Listen to me. Lonergan had the motive, had the opportunity, and nobody ever checked on him. Why would they?
Magnus, take my advice. You're growing obsessive. I saw the seeds of it during the trial. You, too, have spun a fantasy, evolved out of a laugh you heard on a beach when you woke from sleep. That is the only connection with what happened at Brighton. The rest is in your mind. The sun is almost down. Shall we go indoors?
You were not on that hillside, Doctor. But if I cannot convince you of it, I shall convince nobody. I tell you that I know now what that witness meant by saying it was a murderer's laugh. I heard it. I heard a laugh which had in it the color of murder.
John Wilkins was played by David Threlfall, his wife May by Natasha Pine, his mother Charlotte Mitchell, and Uncle Dan Harold Innocent in The Color of Murder by Julian Simmons, dramatized for radio by Guy Meredith. Dr. Andreades, Peter Penry Jones, Magnus Newton, Michael Cochrane, James Haley, Anthony Newlands, Justice Morland, Aubrey Richards. Sheila Morton, Adjoa Ando, Mr. Morton, Preston Lockwood, Bill Lonergan, Nigel Carrington, Les Jackson, Alan Barker. Betty Prenton, Alice Arnold, Mr. Gimble, John Church, Mr. Farnham, Fraser Carr, the pub landlord, Eric Allen, the hotel receptionist, Neil Roberts, and Shattuck, the hotel porter, Michael Bilton. Other parts were played by members of the cast. The play was directed by Enid Williams.